So there's this idea out there in Christianity and elsewhere that you'd say, like, please give me the strength to get through this, or please, make me good, or whatever you're praying for. People have different things on their mind. What are you really asking for? You're asking for an outside influence on what's going to ultimately end up being your behavior. And because Swedenborg had this extrasensory perception, to us, what we'd never sense clearly, he sensed clearly. Oh, I can tell now when this is an angel doing this right now.
Yeah. And every good idea for how our earth could work better would come from people who were inspired by angels. That's where those things, all the inventions, all the things that have come about in the world, that's where it comes from. It comes from a great idea, and then you take action on it, and people work together on it. So they're very powerful in our world, and yet I love that they get zero credit. Well, occasionally somebody will say, well, thank you, in a vague way to the nothingness, but you don't know who exactly inspired that thought. We just get, hey, I came up with Velcro. Isn't that great?
But there's limits to what angels can do for us. This is Secrets of Heaven 5992. The angels through whom the Lord leads and protects us are near our head. Their job is to inspire neighborly love and faith. They also watch the direction our pleasures take, taming them and bending them toward goodness so far as our freedom allows them to. They are not permitted to act violently, breaking our cravings and our assumptions, but must proceed gently.
Yeah.
So they have to go at the pace that we can go at, because otherwise it would harm us to just be forced into things.
And talk about power. I mean, the ultimate hack, what is more of a hack than to be able to hack into people's intentions and thoughts? If you could actually plant in somebody else the idea that they want something, and they'll do anything they can to get
Inception.
it.
The movie Inception is that.
That's right.
Yeah,
Right?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
It's all about the implanting of these. Yeah. Put thoughts in there. Put feelings in there. So that power has to be used responsibly, and that's why the angels have that power. And evil spirits evil spirits can absolutely plant evil desires, and they can plant thoughts of, this would be a nasty way to do this or that. They can plant things in there. But it's a tightly controlled environment, because the human race could, you got to be careful with that power.
Actually, angels are protecting us a lot more than we realize all the time. This is from the same number. Another function angels have, is to control the evil spirits from hell. And they do it in countless ways, of which I may mention only this one. When evil spirits flood us with evil and falsity, which again, you would only experience as thoughts and feelings.
Right. Mood.
Mood, deluge of negativity, or like some kind of
despair,
rage.
Rage.
Anything evil. So everything on the spectrum from despair and misery and hopelessness, which are sort of under siege, to road rage and aggression,
desire for
hatred, so anything in there. Angels instill truth and goodness. Even if we do not accept the truth and goodness, they use it to at least temper the evil and falsity. Hellish spirits constantly attack us, and angels protect us. That is the way of things. Most of all, angels regulate our desires, since these constitute our life and our freedom. Angels watch to see whether hells that were not open before open up and flow into us, which happens when we take to some new evil. So far as we allow, angels shut off these hells and remove any spirits to try to emerge from them. They also dissipate any strange new inflows that have an evil effect. So they're basically pruning us. They're, to the extent that we allow it, you see, like, is there anything, because they can see our spiritual state and how we're being influenced, and which is relative to the actions and things we're doing in the world, like, oh, you're starting to get into this, or so we can try to head that off if we can. Above all, angels call on the goodness and truth we have and use it to block the evil and falsity stirred up by evil spirits. We stand in the middle and do not recognize either the evil or the goodness as such. Being in the middle, we are free to turn toward one or the other. It just seems like, here's just all my thoughts and feelings in my life.
Yeah.
And
I can turn this way, I can turn yeah.
These are the kinds of ways angels from the Lord lead and safeguard us, which they do every moment and every fraction of a moment. If they stopped for only a second, we would plunge headlong into evil, from which we could never again be led away. Well, that's that equilibrium. Like if hell's pushing on one side, heaven's pushing on the other. If heaven just said, all right, we couldn't just alone resist the force of that 14 million pounds per square inch that hell's trying to put on.
If heaven took a 16th of a second off, it's all over. And so I just have the mental image of because we can so often go through life feeling like, I don't know if there's a God. I don't know if God cares about me or knows what's going on. You know, I say these prayers and most of them aren't ever answered. And I don't know if anybody even cares.
And I got my check oil light is on, or, you know.
Yeah, I know. Or right at the same time as that other bill came due. And, you know, like, so
this
obviously
person
nobody cares.
Said this about me, and now I'm thinking about it.
And if you could peel back the veil, imagine, I don't know if this happens after we die in addition to a life review, but wouldn't it be amazing to sort of ask and say, hey, could you just show me what was done for me while I was alive? You know? And they peel it back and they show you thousands of times you were rescued over and over again, you know. Yeah. And this group that just worked tirelessly to keep you just being a miserable, neurotic human being, you know, and not a devil from the worst hell or something, you know.
So it must be it is frustrating to be a person and to kind of live in this gray area a decent amount of the time where, it's like, wait, I'm just kind of got the challenges of my life. Is God out there? And I think that's the equilibrium, though. I think there has to be that state where you're in the equilibrium, where you see around you life and you see people and you see situations, and you have the choice to, like, how are you going to devote your energy? What are you going to pursue and try to believe and live by? That's the equilibrium. The truth, the hopefully the value we can add in this conversation is to know, like, oh, you are at the center of a lot of care and attention. That there is every moment, there is quite a lot of energy being put into looking out for your life, where it's going. And always with Providence, it's the eye toward, you know, what kind of angel are you going to become? Yeah. How am I going to set it up so that you become the kind of person who can be happy forever? Because the body's going to die pretty soon.
Yeah.
Sometime.
That's right.
Could be 80 years, could be 10 years, pretty soon. Relative. And we're trying to get you to be the person you're supposed to be. And you know what it's just like? I once went and saw this exhibit called Body Worlds.
Yes.
And it was showing you all this stuff. It was in some big museum in Philadelphia, I think. It was showing you all the things that go on in the human body and all this amazing stuff. And I just had this distinct impression afterwards that, wow, everybody is such a big deal. You just kind of think like, I'm here and I'm kind of frumpy and I missed my bus.
Right.
And nobody really wants to talk to me. And while you're sitting there thinking, there's these trillions of reactions going on inside you. The amount of energy and effort going into continuing your life, just cell division and respiration and neurotransmitters, and so much is going on to preserve your life at that moment. It's like this, but this is on the not just to keep your physical form going. This is to protect your spirit and to secure a future for you. There's so much attention. There's like the Houston, we have a problem, that NASA control room of people who are just like, that's like the care of God in heaven is just like, right. This person, we are so invested in the future of this person.
That's right. And they cheer when there's success, and the whole control room just erupts. Yeah. Because somebody's project. There's a whole bunch of people working. And I thought the show hasn't been bizarre enough so far. So I thought
tame,
if I could add a little bit more bizarreness, just to sort of even it up a little bit, part of what I see as a purpose of this show, see it mentioned in there that the angels work with the thoughts, with the things that you know, right?
Yes.
They can't put new stuff in there. They have to work with they've got to cook with what you've got in your fridge now. They don't bring more food. They cook with what you've already got on hand. Part of what this show does, to my mind, is to try to put some more ingredients in people for their angels to use when things get tough.
Yeah.
Because angels, if you had better quality food, I could have made you a better meal, says the angel. I'm just working with what you've got here. And that's why it's important to get these ideas out there. It's such a strange thing to say. It's a strange way to think. But I do, having been helped so much in certain difficult states myself, just seeing how they can rescue you, it's like, yeah, I've benefited so much from Swedenborg's, these concepts have helped me so much. And you can't tell because all it did was make me a weird person, But believe me, it could have turned out a lot worse even than this, a lot worse. And so it makes me grateful for these concepts that angels were able to use, where they can grab something from the Bible, there's something from Swedenborg, and bing, and just deal with it at that right moment. So I'm joining Swedenborg's project of wanting to get these concepts out there because I think it will strengthen heaven's hand in dealing with people and what they face.
If you just ask people, or there's a couple times, or number of times we've asked during a show or in the comments, like what spiritual concepts help you, and people always have them. The people have like phrases from the Bible that come to them when they're down, or there's like a serenity prayer, or some Buddhist saying, or something a relative of theirs said. There's these ideas that get activated in that.
Your toolkit, right?
That's I think the argument here is that is the effects of this angelic influence, that when there's negative stuff that's coming into you, what the angels try to do is get one of those phrases or concepts to pop, and then you hear it and feel it, and that redirects your feelings and things.
Yeah.
Our last section, abdomen. I was thinking like insects have segments.